Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. You know the dinim of Chol hamoed is a very difficult dinim, and perhaps only because it happens twice a year and there's no big glamour and excitement with it, people overlook some of the very important halachas that you have to learn. Now, I would like to quote here a statement that's brought in Kaf HaChaim in Simin Tov Kuf Mem Beis Ois Tes Zayin. That the Kaf HaChaim brings that it was margala bepume. It was a common statement by a certain tzaddik's words. He used to say, Ki hashomer chol hamoed melechal aloyu. Anybody is careful not to desecrate chol hamoed. Va'adarabah. On the contrary, mechabde yeser al masha hayomoitzi. He even invests and spends more money to show how honorable, how great Chol hamoed is. Adarabah hu marviach keflayim. He's going to have a double benefit. His profits are going to be double as great. And he brings the Gemara in Moed Katan, Daf Yudah Amid Beis. Somebody didn't do any business on Chol hamoed, and because of not doing the business of Chol hamoed, he was hirviach keflayim. He had double profit. Now, he says, that's a Gemara, but he brings a beautiful remez. V'nosati simen tov b'davar. I found a good remez to give us a reminder how important it is, Chol hamoed. He says, the word moed, mem, vav, ayin, dalid, the first letter is mem. Mem is the gematria of Arbaim, 40. The rest of the letters, Vav Ayin Dalid, is Vav Ayin Dalid is Gematria 80. 40, 80. L'hoidia, says the Kaf HaChaim, it's to teach us. Ki hashomer moyed, one who keeps the Chol hamoed the way he is supposed to, shehu Chol hamoed marviach b'keflayim. He'll get double profit. B'makay mem, not only he'll get the 40, but he'll get the Vav Ayin Dalid, it will get a double profit, 80. That's the schar. We like to speak about the positive. That is the schar of being careful in halachas of Chol hamoed. So I figured that perhaps maybe we should cover some of the discussions that are brought in the Shulchan Aruch and Achronim that perhaps people don't know. In Siman Tov Kuf Lamed Beis, in Hilchas Chol hamoed, Tov Kuf Lamed Beis, Seiv Beis. The Mechaber says, Kol refuah mutar b'chol hamoed. Any act of refuah, obviously you know that on Shabbos there are big shilas about the types of refuah you're allowed to do on Shabbos and Yom Tov, etc. But on Chol hamoed, kol refuah mutar b'chol hamoed. Now, this seems to give you the license to do whatever you want, any doctor. Yet, the halacha of refuah that the Mechaber allows, the Achronim say, first of all, this is only if the person is a little sick, he has some kind of issues, then to take care of it in Chol hamoed is allowed, because the other issues that we have for Shabbos and Yom Tov don't apply. However, if this is just a checkup, you're beferish not allowed to go to the doctor in Chol hamoed. The Moshe Feinstein passing is that way in the Moshe Chele Gimel Siman Ayin Aleph. And for example, if somebody is pre-scheduling a dentist appointment, which is just a normal routine checkup or whatever, it's clearly written and it's brought in Shmira Shabbos Kolchasa Perik Samach Vav Ha'ara Pei Ches in the name of Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, that for sure you're not allowed to set your appointment to be on Chol hamoed. Even if that's the time they have a vacancy, you cannot set Chol hamoed as a time for appointments unless Chas v'Shalom it's needed. One example. Another example, in Siman Tov Kuf Lamed Vav, we today's days, Baruch Hashem has given us that we travel a lot, and in Chol hamoed we spend family time, and to get from point A to point B, you need a car. So in Shulchan Aruch it talks about, in Siman Tov Kuf Lamed Vav, it speaks about Misha Tzarech Lirchev B'Moed L'Tayil. If somebody's is riding back then on Chol Hamoed for a spatzir, for a teal, Oy L'Tzarech HaMoed, then he goes on to say he could take care of the horse. Back then it was a horse. Make sure it's ready. Ulasakim Baraglov, take care of the saddle. V'chol tzarechei rechiva, everything that you need for the riding to be proper, you're allowed to do on Chol Hamoed. Uvilvad shelo yechavim malachta b'moed, but don't intentionally push it off that all these things should be done on Chol Hamoed, because Chol Hamoed is farta Yom Tov. If you couldn't do it before, then you do it. You're able to do it on Chol Hamoed. So the Achronim go on to say, how about a car today's days? Back then it was a horse. Today is a car. So the Achronim say that a car today, only something that doesn't need to have a mechanic to do, Maisa Uman, if it's a Maisa Hedges, if something chick-chock that a person could do it himself, you could do it in Chol Hamoed. But to put your car in for a fix-up, for something that needs a Maisa Uman, you cannot do on Chol Hamoed. Or, let's talk about something more simple. In Seif Beis, the Mechaber says, Mutter Listrei Kasus. The horse you're allowed to comb to make it look good before you go on a trip with it. So the question is, are you allowed to have a car wash? Do a car wash. Today's days we're not going horseback riding, we're going in a car. So if you look at the reasons why you're allowed to comb the horse before it goes off on the journey, before you go off on the journey, we have to figure out if that applies in a car. So there are actually two reasons. Reason number one is, Pasha makes the horse feel better when the hair is not tangled and it's able to run more swift. Another reason is the person riding on the horse feels much better when it's not sticky. It's all put together. Perhaps both of these reasons do not apply in a car because, number one, cleaning the car doesn't affect whatsoever way if the car will make it from point A to point B. And second of all, even the other reason that we mentioned, that if you feel better, plenty of people drive their car every single day of the year with schmutz around, and they manage, and they're happy. Punk and Chol Hamoed, you have to make a car wash. So the Achronim say that a car wash should not be done in Chol Hamoed. I'll give you one more example, how you have to be very careful. Even a basic thing like polishing your shoes. Polishing your shoes on Chol Hamoed. In Kitzer Shalah, it says, Lasuchana alayim, to polish your shoes, Asur be'erev Pesach achar chatzois. Erev Pesach achar chatzois, it's too late. It's not a time to polish your shoes. You have to prepare. You have to have a mindset of Yontiv. So now let's weigh them. Erev Pesach achar chatzois, which is not really yet a Yontiv. It's just getting ready for the Yontiv. And the Kitzer Shalah says you're not allowed to polish your shoes. Chol Hamoed, which is a Yontiv, should be a Yontiv. Okay, it's not like the Shalosh Regalim, but it's up there. It's definitely more than the Erev Pesach Achar Chatzois. For sure, the Kitzer Shalah says you should not polish your shoes on Chol Hamoed. Others are matir. So the Poyo, we paskin that unless it's very needed, it's very schmutzik, and this is the only pair of shoes you have, you perhaps should not polish your shoes on Chol Hamoed.